The air was thick, humming with anticipation. I felt his gaze, steady, intense. He'd been patient all evening, holding back, but not anymore. I turned, meeting his eyes. He wasn't just watching now. I lifted my fingers, just a quiet invitation. His breath caught. His body tensed, and then he rose. Before we dive deeper, do me a quick favor, hit that like button and subscribe. It's free, takes 1 second, and helps the channel grow so I can keep bringing you these stories. Turn on the bell so you never miss what's next. All right, let's get into it. His hand settled at my waist, pulling me close as our bodies moved in perfect sync. Every breath, every subtle shift kept warmth blooming across my skin. "Don't stop," I whispered, voice barely audible. The tension between us stretched, delicious and slow, until I finally melted completely against him. He exhaled, long and low, drawing me tighter as we sank into the quiet comfort of the afterglow. For a while we just lay there, his fingers tracing lazy circles along my back, his chest rising and falling in steady waves, but something in the silence felt different. I turned my head, studying his profile. "You're quiet." He let out a soft chuckle. "Just thinking." I smirked, letting my fingertips graze his skin. "About..." His hesitation was barely there, but I caught it. "How good that was," he finally said. I laughed softly, curling closer. "Yeah, it was." My fingers drew idle patterns across his chest. "But have you ever thought about making it even better?" His breath hitched, just slightly. "Better?" I propped myself up on one elbow, watching him carefully. We've always been adventurous. But what if we took it one step further? His body tensed for a split second. Subtle, but I noticed. That only made me more curious. "Come on," I teased, tilting my head. "I know you've thought about it." His gaze locked onto mine, something flickering behind his eyes. After a long exhale, he spoke, voice low. "There is something." I arched a brow, anticipation curling warm in my stomach. "Tell me." He ran a hand through his hair. "I want to see you, experience something different." I blinked. "Different?" His lips parted, choosing his words with care. "Yes, but not another man. A woman." The words hung heavy between us. I swallowed, pulse racing. I wasn't sure if the heat flooding my chest was nerves or something far more thrilling. I opened my mouth to speak, but nothing came out. Because deep down, I wasn't sure how I felt, and that uncertainty only made the idea stick harder. It clung to me, sliding into my thoughts when I least expected it. Lying in bed, pouring coffee, trying to focus on work. At first it felt wild, almost absurd. I'd never seriously considered it. The idea of being with another woman, especially with him watching, should have been easy to brush off. But it wasn't. The more I turned it over in my mind, the less strange it seemed. Curiosity crept in. Quiet but relentless. It wasn't just the act itself that lingered. It was imagining how he'd look at me, how it might shift everything between us. Would it? That question circled more than I wanted to admit. Doubts pressed in. What if I liked it too much? What if it changed how he saw me, how I saw myself? It felt like standing at the edge of something vast and unknown. And yet, beneath the fear, a quiet thrill pulsed, the kind that made my breath catch every time the thought resurfaced. He wanted this. That much was clear, and if I was honest, I wanted to know what it would feel like to give him exactly what he craved. The hesitation was still there, but it wasn't enough to stop me. I was going to do it. I didn't know how, didn't know who, but one thing was certain. This wasn't just his fantasy anymore. It was mine too. The next few days blurred by. I told myself not to overthink it. I'd made my choice. But once I did, the anticipation only grew. Every glance he gave me, every casual brush of his hand, it all felt electric. I wasn't just agreeing to his fantasy. I was claiming it. By the time everything was arranged, nerves had melted into pure exhilaration. The right person, the right night, the perfect way to unveil it. Now, all that was left was watching his reaction. That morning, as sunlight spilled across the sheets, I rolled over to face him. My fingers traced lazy patterns over his skin while he was still half asleep. I leaned in, voice soft but firm. "I need you home by 8 tonight. No questions. Just trust me." His eyes fluttered open, a sleepy smile tugging at his lips. "What happens at 8? I held his gaze just long enough for curiosity to sink in. "You'll see." His brows lifted, but he knew me well enough not to push. "All right," he murmured, stretching. "I'll be here." Good, because by tonight, his fantasy would no longer be just a fantasy. Evening came faster than I expected. I met him at the door, pulse steady but buzzing beneath the surface. He had no idea what was waiting. That made it even more delicious. His brow lifted as I took his hand, offering nothing but a knowing smile. "Come with me," I whispered, leading him down the hall. The bedroom door was already cracked, soft golden light spilling into the hallway. The moment we stepped inside, the air shifted, charged, heavy with expectation, and then he saw her. She was waiting, perched gracefully on the edge of the bed, posture relaxed yet confident, the kind of presence that made it clear she belonged exactly where she was. Her gaze flicked to him for a brief second before settling on me, something warm and unreadable. Flashing in her eyes, I heard the slow inhale he took, saw the way his body tensed. Just slightly. He wasn't just looking. He was absorbing every detail. Then she moved. Her fingers brushed my wrist first, light, teasing, then trailed higher, deliberate and slow. I turned toward her instinctively, breath catching as her palm smoothed over my skin. There was something different about this touch, new, unfamiliar, but intoxicating. The first kiss was soft, exploratory, a gentle meeting of lips, testing, before deepening into something more. My body responded before my mind could catch up, leaning in, hands finding her waist, feeling the warmth of her beneath my fingertips. A quiet exhale came from behind me, low, controlled but unmistakable. Didn't need to turn to know he was watching, feeling. Every second of this as intensely as I was, we took our time, savoring the slow, unraveling. Her hands moved with purpose, sliding beneath fabric, guiding me inch by inch into deeper territory. Every brush of skin sent another wave of warmth through me, the slow build of discovery making me shiver. Then she took the lead. Her lips left mine, tracing a deliberate path, collarbone, lower, savoring every inch. I barely registered my shirt slipping away, fingers gliding over newly exposed skin. Every movement was controlled, effortless, like she could read every reaction. I gave. A light touch at my hips sent a shiver racing through me. There was no rush, only the careful unraveling of anticipation, a slow-building heat that left me breathless. And then, her touch grew more intentional. A rush of warmth spread through me, making my breath hitch. My breathing turned uneven, lost in the rhythm she set, suspended in the moment. A low, strained sound broke through from across the room. I turned my head, just slightly. My husband, still in the chair, but barely holding on, hands gripping the armrests, chest rising and falling with restrained breaths. His gaze locked on me, dark, intense, unreadable. He was unraveling right alongside us. I met his eyes. My fingers reached toward him, small, but deliberate, an invitation, a quiet acknowledgement that his presence mattered just as much as everything else in this moment. His grip loosened, his body tensed. And then, he stood. The second he stepped forward, the energy in the room shifted. I felt it before I saw him. The heat of his presence as he closed the distance. His hands found my waist, fingers pressing just enough to send a thrill through me. When I looked up, his eyes were already on mine, dark, filled with unspoken emotion. Then his lips crashed into mine. The kiss was deep, raw, pouring everything words couldn't say into that single moment. I melted against him, his warmth surrounding me as his hands traced my back. "Thank you," he murmured against my lips, voice rough. A shiver ran down my spine, not just from the words, but from the way he said them. Like this was everything he'd ever wanted. Then she moved, a shift on the bed. Her presence felt before I turned. She was watching us, slow smile curving her lips, eyes gleaming with quiet confidence. No hesitation. She leaned in, fingers trailing over his stomach. Lower. He let out a sharp exhale. I didn't look away as she kissed down his body, exploring, teasing. My lips stayed on his, hands tangled in his hair, feeling the tremor that ran through him. His breath grew heavier, his fingers tightened on my back as she grew bolder. A deep sound slipped from his throat, feeling him react, watching. Him come undone was intoxicating. Then I moved with her, kisses down his jaw, his neck. Lower, until I was beside her, our movements perfectly in sync. His head fell back, breath ragged, lost between us. Every sound he made sent heat coursing through me. A shift, a change in position. Now she was beneath me, her breath warm against my skin. Her hands guided me, settling me into place. Sensation flooded through me, slow, teasing strokes pulling me under. And then him, the weight of his body, the deep exhale as he moved with intent. Every shift drew a reaction, her breath hitching against my skin, his presence steady, unyielding. The intensity was undeniable, but it was him that undid me. The way he never looked away, the way he reached for me, fingers brushing my skin, lips capturing mine. That was what pushed me over the edge. My body tensed, my breath caught, and the moment consumed me in waves. I wasn't alone. He followed seconds later, voice rough, grip tightening, trembling as he said my name. Then silence. His forehead pressed to mine, breath still uneven. A slow, satisfied exhale. A breathless laugh escaped me. I brushed my lips against his ear. Happy? His arms tightened around me, pulling me close, pressing a lingering kiss to my shoulder. More than you know. Some thoughts stay locked away forever. But what if the best ones are meant to come true? Have you ever had a secret wish you never told anyone? And if you finally let it out, what happened? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And before you go, like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you're first in line for the next story. If this one got your heart racing, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next one.